Truck it on.
Doctors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left your left, left right your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Okay, one more time. One more time without the microphone turned off. Welcome to the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. June 26th, you guys. The month is almost over. I hope you're getting your stuff done because I got a short summer left. It feels like it's flying way too fast. Way too fast. Hey, we are here as we are every Sunday at 1800 Central Standard Time, bringing you our weekly show. We bring you a guest, usually someone who has a story to tell, or someone who has a business or a nonprofit doing similar work to what we do, or someone who just has a message as a patriot. We bring them in, let them share their story, and then we like to bring in music. So tonight we have got Theresa Gathers, and we have got the Mike Donnell Band with us. And it's going to be an evening of amazing discussion, lots of fun. I think it's going to be fun. But before that, I am going to ask that you take off your hat, stand if you can, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
And justice for all.
Nice. Welcome, guys. This is quite the...
Oh, my God. I'm having troubles already right off the bat.
Mike's got a little earthquake going on over there.
I know, because I stood and I messed my mount up. Go ahead.
There you go. You're good.
Seeker, my goodness. You know, I want to play a little bit of Metallica Sandman and do like before our show, and we get to see everyone's face in the background, and our guests don't get to see us, but everyone starts jamming out when Dom's song comes on, and it's fun to watch. It didn't happen with this crew, but every once in a while we find a nose picker wiper. Let's get everything out of the way. They don't realize they're on screen yet. Our people were perfect today. They're composed. They're ready to go. And we're going to rock and roll another one for you guys this week. Not with rock and roll, but it says this is some good stuff.
Country rock and roll.
Country rock and roll. I love it. But I think maybe we do our Patreon. We do a pre-show about warming up to this thing because we do enjoy doing it. It takes a lot of work, but the conversations we get to have with people across the country and the stories we get to hear, the missions that are boots on the ground and taking care of veterans and first responders across the country is phenomenal. And I think we've got two amazing, I don't want to call them storytellers, music storytelling, but Theresa's got a passion mission of support and just building people up. And we have the one and only Derek Iozio checking in with Catch 22 down in Texas. And it's just an exciting story on how this, and we call it family now, but this group of roughly 160 organizations from across the country come together to help veterans and first responders across the states is absolutely freaking phenomenal. And I'd like to also have the formal consideration. I mean, we haven't necessarily brought it straight through the board, but it's happening anyway. But we have Dan Hudson here this week, not as a guest, but as our director of music enhancement. We'll call it that today.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And the behind the scenes conversations we've been having with Dan and even today Shannon Book and musicians from across the country has just been invigorating. And it's been a hard time to keep up with it. And I need to let everyone know, not that I have to, but I'm going to say it. Our mission's not about music. Our mission is about veterans and first responders and everyone that has served, including the families that didn't sign those dotted lines. But the exciting part is we have amazing musicians like Mike and others, roughly 90 of them in our network now, that we get to share the story. And not all of them is a woes me, PTSD. Some are. And again, I'm not talking insensitive about that, but I know that a lot of people are like, oh, veterans are all broken. Oh, screw you. They're not. And we don't fix any of them. We're here to help, and we're here to recalibrate. And that's a part of the story that I want to bring Theresa in on this. Theresa, tell us as much as you can about us, where you're at, how you're serving, and tell us about where your voice shows up in this world to help veterans and first responders.
So I've been in the Air Force for 16 years in security forces. So for what people don't know what that is, it's basically a mix between military, police, and infantry. We support a lot of Army missions when we deploy, and then stateside it's more of securing aircraft, resources, and law enforcement while we're in the continental United States. So I started off as enlisted, made it up to an E6, and then switched over, commissioned about 5 years ago, and now I'm a captain and a security forces commander. So for people that don't know what that is, I'm like equivalent to the chief of police for the base. And then in the future, if I would deploy, more than likely, I will no longer be on the tactical side, which sucks because that's what I love to do. I'm more at an operational and strategic level now. So I've had a lot of great opportunities, but with those opportunities, I've had a lot of loss through suicide. In the past 3 years, I have lost 7 people total. 4 of those were suicides, and the other 3 were just people under 35 and untimely deaths. So cardiac arrest that could be related to any type of stressors. So I started to see more of that. And I actually lost one of my guys back in October. He was found dead in a hotel room while he was on leave, and 24 years old. So it rocked my world. It rocked my unit's world. I had to put myself aside and ensure that I could maintain the good order and discipline in my unit. We grieved together, we cried together, we shared memories together, and I feel like my unit is an example of resilience. So at this point in time, I've been sharing my story because that's just a portion of it, to save lives, because I have sought out mental health recently and gone through some treatment programs. And my video probably got over 50,000 views at this point in time. So I've gotten the feedback that people are asking for help, because in order to change the mindset of mental health seeking, you can't just say it. You have to show people in leadership positions that do it and their survival stories and success. So that's kind of how we got to know each other, Mark. You saw my video and my message. So that's what I'm doing from this point forward. And I'm also getting certified as an executive life coach to help CEOs of companies and senior leadership teams on organizational change and leadership.
Wow.
Awesome. Because you're literally are in the trenches now, and I know that some of our questions might hit a sore spot on occasion. And again, we only do this because it's the practice. And a lot of people think that there's insensitivity about talking about suicide and talking about, well, what's the reason why? Why do you think this is happening with our young soldiers like this?
So honestly, the people I've experienced are more higher ranking than younger. Those numbers are normally not shared as much. So it's actually younger people getting mental health care more than people that have been in the military for a longer amount of time. And that's because the younger people are coming in with a structure where now it's like, go get mental health, go get physically checked out, because in all actuality, everyone knows that by the time someone leaves the military, they're broken inside and out, right? And I've seen a lot of people lose families. And I had a friend that just retired a couple of years ago after 29 years, and she got really sick because of the opposite effect of stress, right? She's always in high stress environments, and it slows down to the point where it's a complete opposite. It makes you sick, right? So the biggest thing we try to preach now is if you're able to identify issues or struggles and find coping mechanisms, healthy ones, in the beginning, then most people will never get down to that path, right? If you are ahead of it. It's the same thing with an injury, right? You can start with like any type of like fracture, but if you kind of let it heal, and then you get back into the job, and then you put more pressure and pressure and pressure, it's just going to be worse off than it was in the original setting, right? So same thing with your mental health. So I'm preaching to people because they're scared of it affecting their careers. And I mean, when I came in, everyone told me, don't ever go to the doctor, and definitely don't say there's anything wrong with you mental health wise, right? Because they'll kick you out of the military, they'll take your gun, they'll do this. So I am now the example. I show my guys that you can go get mental health. You can be on medication. You can go through an intensive treatment program, because the one I went through was outpatient through Emory Health up in Atlanta. It's a veterans program. So there was only like 5 of us in it when I went through, and everyone had their own program where they focus on a military trauma or a trauma that's affecting their career. So I think leading by example is going to change that. And when you have a group of people that have been institutionalized for decades, it's going to take examples rather than words.
What kind of structure do you think? And I'm talking about this in the fact I spent 14 years in, and my son just went in as a 17-year-old and did his first 4 years, and he did it during the era of this thing we call COVID-19, which is his enlistment was he was very disappointed because he didn't get a chance to move around. He didn't get a chance to do his job. He became a track driver instead of a 13 Fox, which is a forward observer. And he never even got to do his job. And so, but he's stateside now. He's doing Army Reserve. What do we tell? Because I think you're right. I think there's two different pieces we need to talk about. We are talking about our young, barely ready to leave the nest soldiers, both female and male. And then we've got our career soldiers that have lived in the structure of you know what? I get up, I shine my shoes, not so much anymore, but shine my shoes, do our thing, and you know, there's a structure. How do we meet in the middle for all of it? Do you have an idea, a plan, or I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot because I want to figure these pieces out and work together and find this plan.
So I'm a very unorthodox leader in the military. I actually get to know every single one of my guys. I know their spouses' names. I know how many kids they have. I've met majority of their kids, pets, personal goals, professional goals. Ever since I became an officer, I've taken the time to, right off the bat, do a one-on-one and then understand who they are. And I say that because my chief, he's been in for just about 29 years. And then I have the youngest one that's 18, right? So that age gap. And they both appreciated that interaction and feeling like a person, and I cared about them and actually gave a shit about them. Am I allowed to cuss? Sorry.
You know it's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
First one, and it wasn't me. It wasn't
I'll
me.
write
I'll add
that
that to
one
the
down.
record.
You
I got
started
it.
Five
Don't
it.
more, just like in softball.
Okay, but everyone appreciates to be seen, right? I'm someone that believes that you can counteract suicide and a lot of like tendencies that are in that same type of lane when it comes to struggle if you value your people. So my guys, I have a great relationship with them. I know that they would jump in front of a bullet for me, not only because I'm their commanding officer, but because I would do the same for them, and they know that for a fact. So I think valuing and caring and accountability, I mean, that has been my thing for the longest, is what ensures mission success. Like, I'm not soft. The way I talk and how much I love my guys, and people see that I love my guys. But if you go to any of my guys in my unit and ask them if I coddle them or I'm soft, they're probably going to laugh in your face. Right. But they respect me enough to do what I ask. If they have questions because they genuinely want to understand it, I'll answer them. But they give me as much feedback as I give them. And I actually learned that from someone in the Navy SEALs, that's how you get a team that is going to flourish and stick together and move forward, is by those qualities. So
I love it. And I wouldn't say, and a lot of people are going, oh my gosh, how can you dare say that? I don't know that that's the norm. The way you approach this isn't the norm. But it's also kind of the way that the People's Patriot Project kind of reaches out as well. We believe in being boots on the ground. And what you have done is built a relationship. And relationships aren't bad. They're not bad in the military world. They're not bad in the first responder world. There's for me, it's easier to have someone's back knowing that they legitimately have my back and that there's a built foundation under that relationship. And it doesn't mean it's got to be all cuddly wuddly relationship. It's just, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. And what's the strangest pet one of your soldiers has?
Chinchilla.
A chinchilla.
I wouldn't say that's strange.
Is that like a squirrel?
My last commander almost got a tarantula. So I said I was going to get that for like the squadron pet, and they're like, "Nope, we'll burn the squadron alive if it gets anywhere."
A chinchilla is kind of like it's a hairy hamster, kind of. I mean, it's.
But don't they climb like more of the monkey type thing?
I would say squirrel. I think you're right. More of a squirrel than a monkey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Squirrel monkey.
Yeah.
Spider monkey, maybe. I don't know.
baby monkey dog, whatever that thing was.
I'll have to Google it after the show here.
I don't have a biology degree. I have a question for Theresa, if you can. First of all, I have to. I almost want to call you. I was a red hat, so I was security forces deployed with security force unit with 384th, and the unorthodox methodology, I think, should not be called that at some point, because I think you're going down the right path. Because to me, do you feel like you're battling a stigma of this whole going to mental health, or do you have a generational gap within the people that you command, some of the older, maybe the senior masters or something like that, versus maybe the E2s or the E3s who are more willing to go to mental health versus some of the senior enlisted people? How do you erase that stigma?
So I was told by our director of psychological health that over 50% of the people in my unit are now seeking mental health because I've normalized it. That's a huge win. That's probably one of the most
win. That's a
proud
victory.
things I've ever, like, we have our DPH on the base. That's what we call it. She's just more of a person that provides resources on the outside, but they'll come to me and ask. Several people on my senior leadership team talks to her. So it's across, I have normalized it. That's the difference, right? So other commanders in the wing, they'll like say, yeah, mental health is good, but then someone will overhear them talking shit about someone. Oh, there again. Going to mental health.
You're good.
I like that you normalized that, actually.
Look at Mike taking count.
Oh, I'm a Marine. I'm just glad I'm not talking right now.
Yeah. So I on it. So I'm actually, since you bring up your combat arms, right? So
yeah, I was a CADM.
Well, yeah, now it's combat arms, CADM.
Darn it! I'm old. So, I'm old.
You're not that old.
I have the old red hat and block letters.
No, that's what they still wear.
Do they?
They still wear that. I was asked to be the security forces and Office of Special Investigations lead for a new initiative that was put out by the Space Force and the Air Force called Fortify the Force Mental Health Initiative. So it's a grassroots efforts that has worked with a couple other teams that we have, that rather than it going through a whole chain of command, we have leads on our teams, and they talk to the lead that reports directly to the Chief of Staff of the Air Force and the Space Force commander to put different policies into place. So it doesn't have to go through weeks, months, years. And actually, there's a sexual assault leave policy that just changed that I was a part of, giving victims convalescent leave when they're a victim, because right now it has been expected, right? It's not written anywhere, but when I went through my sexual assault, I was expected to be at work the next day after reporting, and that just doesn't make sense. So there was never anything in writing. For the Air Force, there now is. It's 30 days intermittent, and it's a very broad guidance, because they don't want people being put in a corner of who has to ask for it, what the days are used for. So it could be mental health days. It could be something like, I just don't want to come to work today because I'm having triggers, like anything of that sort. We need to stop assuming because some people may abuse something that everyone else doesn't deserve something, right? Because we can all say that something in the military is, if one person does something really great, we don't all reap the benefits. But if one person does something really bad, guess who's all standing in their dress blues? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get away from that mindset.
And that's one of the toughest pieces. And I totally get what you're talking about. And I was hesitant in asking the question about how much pushback. And I don't want to ask that question yet. But percolate a little bit. But I mean, we've all, everyone here, and excluding Andrea, but her father served, and she's a great asset to the People's Patriot Project because of that piece. But we've all been in the service where we've seen that one soldier abuse every one of the systems that are there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones that ruin it for the ones that are legitimately trying to get the help that they need.
But
And then
why?
the vice, what's that?
Why do they ruin it for everyone when it was one person?
Well,
You're saying
great
they do,
point.
right? Yeah.
Great point. Yeah, great point. And that's my point. Why is it like that? Because, and I think because the frequent users are allowed to continue to frequently use. And that's a frustration. And I see that in a lot. But then there's also the vice versa of this. There's the ones that, can I hand you a card and say, hey, get over there because you need this. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your performance. I can see it in how you are tying your boots, for Pete's sakes. I need you to take a timeout. And I don't have the answers to those. And I am so thank you, Theresa, for being literally that tip of the spear and willing, because I'm guessing you've taken, so let's go to the question. I'm guessing you've taken a couple knock on the noses because of the position you've taken.
Yes. Specifically in my career field, right? There is a lot of officers outside of my career field that have shared that video that I posted, and Chief Bass, the Chief Master in the Air Force, actually shared it on her page, both Instagram and Facebook. And there was a lot of good feedback with it, but some people don't still to this day think that is strength when you talk about your struggles you've had. And the first thing that people want to do is figure out if you're competent and still fit for duty to carry a weapon. And I can tell you the support from my career field was not, I would say, an eighth of the support I got from the rest of the military, including the SEAC, because he's one of my mentors. And because of him commenting on my video and everything, I got in touch with a lot of special forces dudes, and they told me their story of what they went through because we share a mutual mentor. So it's sad, but I don't care, right? I'm going to be real. I knew I was going to get pushback. I didn't do this for me to get any type of recognition. I've never been about that, and anyone that knows me knows that. I did it if I could save one life by putting myself out there. That's why I did it, because of the point I got to a few months ago where I feared taking my own life. And I know so many people who have dealt with that same concern and felt like they had nowhere else to turn. So I wanted to show people it is okay, right? And ultimately there are programs that you don't have to be embarrassed about. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I never knew there was a intensive outpatient program strictly for veterans. There's 4 of them across the United States, and they pay for everything. You per diem, travel, hotel, and from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., you're just going through really extensive therapy treatment. And then you go back to a hotel room, and the next day you come in. And having that flexibility where I wasn't inpatient, which I'm not talking bad against, but it's not for me, right? Me feeling like I still had control over my life while getting that intensive treatment is exactly what saved my life. Like those professionals there, they're either a veteran, they grew up in a military family, or their spouse is military or a veteran, so it was nice to not have to explain all the military aspects when trying to go through combat trauma, loss, and military sexual trauma.
And that's a gigantic piece right there, is the military experience and an understanding of the military experience. And because you can't go to a regular doctor for that. They have no clue what the biological makeup even of the female at that time, the change that happens in the military experience. It's different than the regular makeup of a regular female in the normal world. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
This story is the epitome of courage and leadership to me, honestly.
I agree.
And you seem like a very humble person, but it takes so much courage to do everything that you've done. And people have probably told you that, but you've also done it by example. And not only that, a lot of the conversations that Andrea and Mark and I have are about, hey, let's not forget the families. Well, you started off with that, like, hey, I get to know these people's families, so I know you're watching out for them too. So I honor you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I hope you get to hear that more. Let's change the tune a little bit here. Literally, figuratively.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yo,
tell us about your service, brother.
about my service. So, me and a couple buddies, we all enlisted together. We were going to do the buddy program thing, but then other Marines told us, no, you don't want to do that because they make you hold hands in boot camp and stuff like that. So, we all enlisted together, and we all went to boot camp together. I went to California for Marine Corps MCRD, California. And this is 2002, so it's been a while. And I mean, there's really not much to tell about boot camp. Boot camp sucks. But I got out of there, and my MOS was a diesel mechanic. So I wanted something that would be applicable to a trade when I got out. So basically having Uncle Sam pay for my trade in college and things like that. But the Marine Corps had other plans for me. So I was kicking doors and crap like that in Afghanistan within that next year after MOS training. And so I deployed twice over 4 years to Iraq and Afghanistan. Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom with 6th Marine Division, and we were on the USS Wasp. So I did a float, which was no fun. You're stuck on an aircraft carrier with 6,000 other troops for 2 months. But we pop around to some cool places like Malta, Italy. We hit Italy, Spain, Tarragona, Spain. I wanted to do the run with the bulls and all that stuff like that. So I got to see the world. Deployed a couple times. Did some things that I typically don't talk about on a daily basis because I don't run into folks like y'all a lot either. So I do have all my Marine Corps friends still. We're still close. We keep in touch. Like my unit, I guess you'd call us. My platoon, and is it Theresa? Like Theresa said, they just start falling off the grid, man. I mean, I don't know why. I don't think suicide has been a constituent, but a couple of them have died over the last couple of years, and it's like, man, there's only 12 of us. Now we're down to 9. We need to talk more, y'all. So anyway, after that,
Do you do that? Do you promote that?
We catch up. We catch up. I mean, they're all up on the northeast towards North Carolina more, and I'm here in Texas, so I can't physically catch up with them or anything. But every now and then,
Did you say northeast North Carolina. That's not.
Northeast North Carolina. From me, it is. So for me, if you go north and you go east, you wind up in North Carolina.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's not the only place you can get to, but
Right.
When you say north, the next thing north to us is Canada. So that's north.
Oh yeah. Well, from Texas, everything is north, and then east of that's the Carolinas. So they're out in that area. Georgia, Carolinas, Virginia. All my buddies. So, but we catch up every now and then. You'll be having too much to drink at a bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, your phone will ring and you'll be like, what is this dude doing? End up talking for 2 hours or something. But other than that, let's see, I got out of the military 2008 and I got stop lost on a third deployment to Iraq. So my daughter was just born at the time. So the recruiter gave me an option. He said, you can go non-ob and join this reserve unit that might also deploy, or you can go ahead and deploy to Iraq for a year and get it over with. So, in the sake of my daughter, I didn't want to leave her. And so I joined 23rd Marines downtown here in Houston and did a bunch of workups. I was at E5, so it was pretty nice, just be able to keep my time and grade and get in there and do sergeant stuff, man. Just hit the field and play in the field and shoot stuff. And Marines are pretty simple creatures. So I got to do that for a couple of years, and then I got out clean off contract in 2012. And I've been raising my girl and just had a baby boy and spending time with my wife. We got property, and I guess I play music too. So I got a couple songs on the radio.
I guess.
Yeah, man, life's good.
How has your experience in the military impacted your life the most?
My experience in the military. Well, like I said, my trade was important to me. I've always been very mechanically inclined. My first vehicle, my stepdad said, hey, it doesn't have an engine. So if you want to drive it, you're gonna have to figure that out. And I was like, well, crap, hey, I didn't cuss yet. And you're a twofer so far. So, and we put the engine in together, and he helped me figure out that, and it just kind of piqued my interest at the time, and mechanics was what I wanted to do. So when I went in the military, that's where I focused most of that at. And I was a diesel mechanic for 6 Marines after I got done with the infantry stuff, and then I moved over to 2nd Tank Battalion for a couple of years and worked on bigger equipment after that. And then when I got out, Uncle Sam put me through school. So I was in college for about 5 years, and I got my mechanical engineering degree. And now if I'm not, touring Texas or playing music on the weekends, I work my 9 to 5 as an engineer for a construction company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And Theresa, we'll fix this. We'll make it look like he sweared a couple times. We'll just.
Here, I'll tell you what. You know what?
There was one. Yep, here we go. Okay.
There I go.
It's
That's
falling
2.
apart now. So yeah.
Now we're neck and neck. We're tied.
I'll tie it up.
So for the world, our audience understands and knows that we celebrate the veteran and first responder that has done extra and done more. And you didn't get to go to the school of Juilliard and go learn a craft and eat ho-hos and bonbons your entire life and then turn around and create a music career. You were boots on the ground. You went and did something different. You did something that was selfless of you and served your country. And now you're picking up. And I'm telling you right now, man, we have been so excited about the musicians we've been able to bring into our network. And I'm going to tell you, you're one of the special ones.
Really?
That I've been listening to. And again, this isn't over because now you're part of the family, Mike and we're going to entertain this and
right on.
And get everyone connected and put together. But you got 3 songs booted up, With You, Puzzle Piece, and
I can't keep my eyes off you, was it?
Oh, I love
it. Or no,
that
Mr.
one.
Fix It. Mr. Fix It. I think that's the one.
Mr. Fix It,
I sent you.
I love those two. I love those two.
Yeah,
so
that's a fun one.
What do you want to go with?
Shoot, man. Let's just hit him with Mr. Fix It right off the bat because
Mr. Fix It.
I think that's my favorite song I've ever wrote, and it's definitely my favorite video we've ever shot. So,
is there a story behind it?
Yeah, a buddy of mine is more of a Mr. Fix It type guy than I am. He can literally fix anything. Plumbing problems. We always joke he could probably build his own house. When girls are like, "You want a woman that can cook? Well, can you build a house?" This dude can build a freaking house, right, by himself. So the only thing he could never fix was his relationships because they were just always bad. So I wrote a song about that. It kind of put myself in his shoes, and I called it Mr. Fix It because he can fix everything except for his relationship. So, and he's actually in the video. In the beginning, the intro of the video, that's me and him working on that old '68 Camaro.
All right, we got Mike Donnell, Mr. Fix It.
Well, man, think she gonna run good today? I hope so. If she don't, fix her like I always do. And that's not all you're gonna need to fix.
There ain't much around this house that I can't fix. And though there ain't much that I ain't figured out, I can do electrical, plumbing, mechanical, honey. Yeah, that's right up my alley. But the one thing that I can't fix is you. All my friends call me Mr. Fix-It, 'cause I usually got a handle on it. But like a diagram, girl, you got a lot of problems. Out of all of those pretty single women, how the hell did I wind up with a lemon? I can fix anything, and everybody knows it's true, but I can't fix you. I'm the guy you call when your truck breaks down, and I'm the guy people call when they need something fixed around the house. Yeah, I'm the guy everybody calls to build a shed or fix a fence, but out of everybody needing me, you never did. And all my friends call me Mr. Fix you got a lot of problems. Out of all of those pretty single women, how the hell did I wind up with a lemon? I can fix anything, and everybody knows it's true, but I can't fix you. No, I can't fix you. You know, man, I've rebuilt a 700 R4 transmission in the driveway with nothing but a crescent wrench. But when it comes to that girl, I just can't figure it out.
Is Mike with
Love
us?
it.
A little nap or sideways? It's,
Mike is sideways and sleeping.
gosh, that was good. That put a little boogie in there.
Love it. There he is.
You had fun putting that together, didn't you? We got some sound stuff going on. That's okay. Andrea, real quick.
Yes.
Mike, go out, come back in. Andrea, can you do the news real quick?
I can. Let me know if I don't know about the internet here. So let us just start with a reminder about PTSD Awareness Month. That's June. It's intended to raise public awareness about issues related to PTSD and reduce the stigma associated with PTSD and help ensure that those suffering from the invisible wounds of war receive proper treatment. So we stick with that all month, but we actually stick with that all year. The 25th, which was yesterday, that was the anniversary of the start of the Korean War in 1950. You know, that one gets forgotten a lot. So the Korean War. We do have tomorrow. Tomorrow is National PTSD Awareness Day. There he is. Oh, and there he's not. PTSD Awareness Day, tomorrow, June 27th. This is a day set aside to raise public awareness
Hello.
about the issues related to PTSD. And there's a lot going on. If you check your local, some places even have like actual gatherings happening, meetings, classroom type things. So check that out in your local area. And then I wanted to include things about just a big thing about we do first responders. So we are veteran first responder support. And I wanted to bring in, because we debate this all the time, and we've decided dispatchers also are included in that EMT first responder category. And so it does not happen that they do get qualified or classified as first responders quite often, which leaves them out of access to a lot of the benefits that first responders are entitled to. So in Virginia, there's a big push, and I'm sure it's not the only place, but they're kind of leading the way, pushing legislators to step in and help make a change for that. Their role is 999% vital to everything else that happens in the first responder world. In Franklin County, Virginia alone, there are 57,000 citizens and 18 dispatchers ready to answer calls. For the dispatcher, they're on the other end of the line that doesn't get the, hey, it's happy birthday. How you doing today? Instead, it's the, hey, I'm dying. They're dying. Somebody's dying. There's blood everywhere. I don't know what's happening. My mom's on the floor. That's pretty traumatic. And so those dispatchers live through that every day, every hour, every phone call. So as a result of that, they suffer a lot of PTSD trauma. I mean, it's just, they don't get the benefits of that then. So there's a big push starting in Virginia, like I said, Roanoke area. But let's hope that spreads through the country and we continue getting those dispatchers in on all the benefits and all, including them in the awareness for PTSD as well. That is focus in first responders world today.
Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know what happened. In the middle of the video, it started doubling up the video, and then I just lost everything. I tried to get back in, but it was all messed up. So
It was perfect.
It's a good song, Mike. You should listen to it.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, Theresa doesn't have those problems, so I guess
I know that's the Air Force for you.
I
They
have a
got all the
lot of
funding.
other problems. Though, so
Swear
it's okay.
more, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, that's the Air Force. They got all the funding. Okay, you know,
Space Force now. We're not
Space
the new
Force. See, all the Marines just sit down here at the bottom and go, "Daddy, please, can I have some money?"
You didn't have any fun making that song, did you?
Well, the song, is always fun recording in the studio and stuff, but shooting that video was awesome. I want to give an honorable mention to my wife. So she runs all my camera gear. Long time ago, I just got sick and tired of spending thousands of dollars on these videos. And I said, I could probably figure this out myself. And I spent thousands of dollars on the equipment. But in the long run, I've probably shot 10 of my own music videos since then, just by buying all this cinematic gear and lenses and then learning how to do the software. And my wife is out there. She was pregnant at the time, and she was holding my camera rig, which was like 17 pounds, just trying to balance it on her stomach for like 7 hours at this racetrack in the sun. So she's the one that got that video, all those shots.
Well, let's lift up your wife, because again, she's probably one that didn't sign up for the mission, and she's there by your side, and it's one of the pieces we talk about all the time is the family of our veteran and first responders. So thank your wife.
Yeah,
I want to say
she's perfect.
One of the pieces that me and Dan were talking about before the show even started was he was really intrigued about the quality of your videos, because a lot of times we have to show videos that aren't videos at all. They're just a screenshot. And it's really tough to put up audio on here and just look at all of our mugs while we're listening to someone else's song. But no, you guys put together a great package, and that's
thank you. Well, I've been shooting my own videos for a while now, and I guess I got so good at it that other local musicians have reached out to me. So I mean, I do a lot of other people's work now too. I started a videography company called Blue Dog Media. So if you're out there, Andrew or Theresa, if you want a music video done, we can hook you up. All right.
Sweet.
I'm not singing. You can sing.
Oh, well, you lip sync. You dance, I'll sing. It's a deal.
It's important too, when you have such a awesome song. And one of my favorites, I'm not going to lie, and you probably hear this a lot, Mike, is Can't Keep My Eyes Off You. And just the way it's done. I mean, the video can help, or sometimes
okay, so
hurt.
that's my wife in the video.
It's amazing. It's done so well. And Mark and I were, like Mark said, we were talking about this. It's like, man, Mike's videos are amazing, and it really they complement the song, because sometimes they contradict the song a little bit, and you're nailing it, man. You're nailing it.
I try to make the whole mood of the video around the song, so you don't always want to be literal with your videography when it comes to the lyrics, but sometimes you just kind of you storyboard it. That's what I like to do, and just say, here's what I want to be this shot and the first verse, and we'll go shoot that, and I'll just kind of mix them together when I'm in here in the studio, and so far so good, man. It's coming out pretty good. It does help that I'm the writer of the song, and I know full well the intentions of the song, so how I want to create that visual aspect of it is very easy.
And Theresa, thank you for not burping on the show tonight as well. Okay, that's only Mike doing that tonight too.
So she burped. Oh yeah, I got a beer down here. So
I like it, honestly.
I love it.
I was like, did you hear me when I burped earlier? I'm sorry.
Oh no.
See, Mark gets to mute his own audio when he passes gas. So
Right?
If you only knew how many times I did that.
Or he puts the funny noises over it and then pretends, oh, that's this little little app I have.
Yeah, we're on to you.
Sounds like a real fart.
That's what it is.
Theresa, well, first of all, Mike, what are you doing October 20th through the 25th?
20th through the 25th. Man, my October's pretty booked up. I think I got shows every Friday and Saturday in October.
Oh, that's tough.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I think we could use you in Nashville, but I guess you're too busy.
Well, depends on which shows. I don't know if I can move any of them around anymore, but just shoot me some dates, man. We'll talk privately and see if we can make that happen.
We're just going to be at the Grand Ole Opry doing the red carpet. That's not.
I'll cancel all my shows. I'll be there.
That's all we're doing.
It's maybe we'll talk. We'll talk.
No big whoop. No big.
I'm gonna go get my keys. I'm out of here.
buy a hat.
Theresa, 2 questions, and we can
like
break
that.
this up because
Yeah, Dan, I
again,
can see your head. You need a hat.
we always tell everyone. Gosh, dang you guys.
Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry. I'm a jokester. Go ahead.
No, it's perfect. We always tell everyone this is an hour-long show, and I'm looking at the time, and realistically, we're not going to make an hour. And if anyone needs to go, just let us know. Theresa, 2 questions, and we can break it up into pieces and put a song in the middle, or you can answer both of them right now. One is, what's next? And then how can we support you? So, and that might be like 2 very long topics.
They're not really long, so I
Okay.
can answer both. I just requested a medical evaluation board. So I'll be retiring out of the military here shortly in months, but I'm still going to be a part of those 2 initiatives I talked about. And then I'm going through my executive life coach certification, like I said, so that I can kind of impact in a different type way. And also looking to join a research team for PTSD because I'm applying for my doctorate in psychology, so I can go work for that program that saved my life.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So that's what's next.
Mm-hmm.
How can we
And
support you?
How can we support you?
You need to put a song on. I'll be back to that.
All right.
I'm not normally speechless because
No.
one, I don't normally ever have an answer when someone says, "How can I support you?" So
Well, and it's a crazy question, and this is in relevance to what you want to do. Your service isn't done. Your service is clearly defined in another area. Normally, we save these conversations for post show, and I'm just going to say we're going to invite you into Camp WeP3 and figure out how we can all work together, because I think us all working together is going to have a broader grab. And so we'll talk about that piece, but maybe that helps plant some seeds for you. Mike, let's go to one of your next songs.
Okay. Which one?
Well, you've got With You and Puzzle Piece.
Puzzle Piece. Oh, I didn't send you I Can't Keep My Eyes Off You?
No. I
You have it?
can get it if
Let's go with that.
I
one
love
instead of
that
Puzzle
song.
Piece.
I love
If
that
we-
one, Mike.
Puzzle Piece?
I think
I
you
love
said
that.
it like 100 times by now.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm
Yeah,
sitting here
yeah, delete-
whining like a little dude.
So I have not heard or seen that one, so I thought that was going to be played.
Let's
I'm not
let's
gonna
replace
sing.
let's replace Puzzle Piece with Can't Keep My Eyes Off You, because Puzzle Piece is it's just a pass through track. There's not really much importance to it. It's just a good rocking song I like.
So that's going to take me a minute to do, which is fine. So let's go With You right now.
Okay.
And we'll put it up, and I'll go get. Tell me one more time the name of it.
Can't Keep My Eyes Off You.
All right. This is Mike Donnell, With You. Is there a story behind it?
Well, it's Donnell, Mike Donnell,
Did I say
and
Donnell?
Donnell?
it's all right. Andrea said Mike Donnell Band. Do I have
I
band
was
behind my
rushing
stuff
through
anywhere?
it.
There's some band
I-
stuff out there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because so when I first launched my music career, I went with Mike Donnell Band because we had a band at the time. But as it progressed, I took the band away, and then I redistributed more music. But all the music distributors out there created 2 artists, Mike Donnell and Mike Donnell Band, and it frustrates me, and they won't fix it. I've wrote everybody I could, but anyway,
Okay, I'll fix it. I'm gonna
No,
put
no,
a
no.
big fix.
it's no
Is
big
your-
deal. I just try to make that correction anytime I run across it.
So is your current email still have band in it?
Yeah, because it's my original email. So if I create another
Yeah.
one, I lose a bunch of contacts.
You gotta have it, Mike Donnell band.
Yeah.
Got it. Just Mike Donnell.
I'll make it Mike Donnell, not band.
Not band, Mike Donnell.
Yeah.
It's Mike Donnell. He's here.
But so With You was my second Texas radio single, I guess you'd call it Texas only. But down here in Texas, we distribute to just a few states like Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, maybe some of Colorado and Kansas. We don't reach much radio outside of that, or it's considered a national radio campaign, and those are expensive. So this was my second radio single, and it did. I've never had one hit #1 or anything like that. There's a lot of talented people here just in Texas, and it's like I always say it's bigger than Nashville, Red Dirt Market. But y'all got the national scene. So it did make top 70, I believe, and it held around top 70 for 20 weeks. So it's got some solid stay power, and I think this song is kind of the ones that put me on the map with radio. So when I started distributing more songs, I'm on my 7th radio single right now. They were more receptive to it, right? You know, so it hung around there long enough to be able to establish more of a name for myself, and it really helped me advance my career a lot. But this song, I wrote this song as a Valentine's Day gift for my wife. Like she's very successful. I'm an engineer with an engineering degree, and she makes more than me. So I'll just put that out there. It's hard to shop for a woman like that. You know, what do you buy a woman that buys everything she wants when she wants it? So, you know, you got to start thinking and making stuff like, I made you this vase, you know, with love. She's like, oh, I love it. You know, it was free. Anyway, I wrote her this song. And when she woke up, I had flowers and stuff coming out of the bedroom to the laptop, and it said, play me. You know, she cried. So I guess overall that was a success. Not that I made her cry, but that she liked it. So yeah, she's actually also in this video. It helps that she's just drop dead gorgeous. I'd use her as my model all the time. So that's it.
Awesome. Mike Donnell with you.
I'm the farthest thing from that. Well, I ain't rich and I ain't tall, I ain't got nothing at all, so I'll never understand why you wanna call me baby, how I landed such a lady. The good Lord sure did do me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered, but none of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. At a point in life, I kinda lost faith in anything real, but you showed up, and then somehow I had walls for days, but you knocked them down, and still I'll never understand why you wanna call me baby, such a lady. The good Lord sure did do me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered, but none of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. A lady, but good Lord sure did do me right when he brought you to my show that night. I was lost, broken, and shattered, but none of that even matters anymore, because the man I am with you is better than the one I was before. I'm better than the man I was before.
All right.
There was.
And you guys videoed that? Your wife videoed that?
Yeah.
Oh
How's
my
she
gosh,
do
that
it?
is so good.
Thanks.
That is just
Amazing.
so good. I love the ending too. By the way.
Yeah, all my videos we shot ourselves.
That is
That was
amazing.
awesome.
Absolutely
Outstanding.
amazing. So well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've got the other song loaded up already too. So that was, but maybe that was enough time to hear, or for Theresa to. How can we support you, Theresa?
Not really good when people ever ask me that because I'm normally the one supporting everyone else. But if you're serious about that, which I feel like you are, I would like to be on the show again in the future for like a update, and to kind of offer where we're at in Air Force with mental health, hoping that people from other branches, it gives them hope, with some of we should have policy changes by then.
I feel like I would have zero problems even upping the ante a little bit. And again, this is typically post-show conversation, but I would have zero problems with you being a regular on the show and being part of because you legitimately, so many of the people that are on our platforms are boots on the ground organizations who haven't been in the trenches for a while. And I think you have a pivotal place for a number of reasons. I mean, I run a campaign that says don't check the boxes, but you check some boxes, and that's important stuff. And that's not a judgment. It's a piece that's important. And our job here is to catch as many as we can. That's our job. And I would love to have you be part of this as a regular if you'd be interested in doing that. And
Yeah.
we could even develop a whole new show if you'd like to. We have another one right now, Sugar Rose, who runs Motivation Mondays right now. Check her out I think she does 6 or 7, but I saw her on here a minute ago. I know she's, I think, done it both times. I just check for her on Mondays. Great story, great mission, support, veteran support, or actually in-house family support for enlisted soldiers in the family world, and just love having her around. And so the sky's the limit with what we're doing, and we're looking to move this media opportunity to a bigger and larger platform the entire time. So
does that give me an invite to the red carpet as well, or that's only for Mike?
You are invited to Nashville. How's that? You are invited to Nashville.
I tell you what, Mike and Theresa both have a new fan. I honestly, I've been listening to your music all week, Mike. I just
good. Thank
Lord, you. And Theresa, your story is so inspiring, and your leadership is really the epitome. And I think people can turn to you and you can be that example, and it looks like you are. So thank you both so much.
Absolutely.
So we can talk after show here, and then we have contact information now, and we'll just keep each other in the loop. And if you want to spin something and try it, let's spin it and try it. If we come up with an idea, we'll present it to you, and that's how we do. That's how we roll. Brian Gibson, good to see you, brother. Project Die Hard, Illinois. Good to see you, brother. He has his event at the end of June. Hope Stock.
July. End of July.
Said June. I meant to say July. I appreciate that. Thank you. We don't have a graphic up yet. That's on me. But we'll get that as we get closer to it. And if you want to go see an amazing mission, head to McKanda, Illinois, the last week of July and see what they got going on. Mike.
Yes, sir.
Got your last song. What's next for you? How can we support you?
Well, so I think I mentioned that we bought some property, and we're in the point of our life where we're trying to build our dream home out on some land in the middle of nowhere and kind of get a garden. And, I got a bunch of horses and things like that, right? That's always been my dream, is to live as far away from the city as possible. It's weird because I'm a musician and I need a city, but that's what I got a bus for and a driver to take me there. So we're in the process of doing that, and I've been trying to cut some corners on my budget, especially in my music career. And I decided to cut out recording in a major studio. Although previous albums that I've done have all been in major studios, it costs $10,000 minimum to cut an album. I don't know if anybody knows that, but you know where the music industry is heading. Us artists will spend so much money creating these things, and we're like, I got this masterpiece here. Where's my camera? I got this masterpiece here. I spent a lot of money on. Anybody want to buy it? They're like, nah, we'll get it for free on Spotify. So it's a waste of money, you know? And it sucks because you need that product to sell, and you got to have quality product to compete with anybody out there that's really doing anything big. So again, I said, pretty sure I could do this myself. And I spent the money, and I built the recording studio, you know, and I spent countless hours on YouTube watching courses about how to track music, mix and master, and do all these things, and the gear that I need to put out some quality music. And I think I did it. I just finished my 5th album, but I wrote the entire album, recorded all of the instruments, including drums, keys, piano, all the guitars, every guitar solo, backup vocals, and vocals I did here myself in my home studio. So what's next for me, you asked, is that I have 12 new songs that I'm ready to put out, and I just released the first one off of that called Changes. It's my new current radio single. It just went out to radio. Actually, it goes out to radio Monday, tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see where that takes me, or see if people laugh at me because the quality sucks. We'll see. Make or break your career type moments, you know, but that's what foundations are built on. So
make sure we can get our hands on those tracks, because we'll throw it on our licensed and royalty-paying radio station, WeP3 Radio.
Absolutely. I'll send it to you as soon as we get off here.
Absolutely. Awesome. And tomorrow's the release date.
No, the song's already out. The song came out last Monday, but this coming Monday is when my distributor was going to send it out to every Texas country radio radio station, which is 2,000, something like that.
Yeah. And I think we just got a ton to talk about in post-show, so if you have time to hang around just for a minute,
all right.
We'll regurgitate, burp, swear, and
I'll get my beer.
You have to, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I like Mike.
This is our buddy check time before we get into the launch of Mike's last song. Make sure you're reaching out. We call it the 6-pack. Go ahead and grab 6 of your closest, maybe not closest buddies, compadres, whatever you want to call them. Just say hi. It's really easy. I know you can do the waves and Facebook and this and that. Maybe that's all we need to do, man. Just go wave. I'm here for you. This is a chance to save some brothers and sisters that might be struggling a little bit. And if you think they're the strongest one in your unit, your section, your platoon, reach out to them first, because it's those leaders that are in front that sometimes are dealing with all the garbage that they got to deal with on the daily. This is the opportunity. We are the beacon of hope. Remember, the People's Patriot Project gives you a chance to serve after service is over. Gives you a chance to serve if you've never had a chance to serve before. And our ultimate goal is to go out and save lives. The team we're building, it's not a team, it's a family, and we're enjoying every part of our mission as we're moving along. It's awesome to have 2 more members of our family this week. I hope you felt like you're part of family. It seems really easy to have these conversations. And Dan was with me today. We talked about 10 people and talked to 3 people that are going to make the world a better place for others. And it's just been a great conversation. While Andrea's up, tooting around on her pontoon, just doing her thing up there on vacation land.
It's called vacation. Yeah.
Well, I'll leave that one alone. Mike, can't keep my eyes off of you.
Finally.
My truth to you, brother.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
All right. So if you really dig back on my music and you find the old Mike Donnell band stuff, a lot of it's real depressing. I've had, from the moment I got out of the military, I made bad choices, including the women I picked. So a lot of that on the first album was very depressing, and I didn't really have anybody to turn to. So music was my outlet on that. Just been let down every time I turned around, and I thought it was just going to be me, from then on out, and my daughter. So luckily, my wife found me, and I always say that she saved my life. That's why I'm so outspoken about her. But my life was going a completely different direction before I met her. Now, I really don't have many downsides to write about, so I just, I write the best I can. The first thing that comes to my mind is typically, love songs or funny songs, and everything's very happy and uplifting. This one is a product of that, and I thought about, what would be cool is if I wrote a song about our wedding day, and we went back to where we got married at. And since we're doing all our own video work now, maybe they'll let us come shoot in the chapel and stuff like that. And they did. They said, yeah, that'd be awesome. Y'all come back, set up, take as much time as you need. And, so I wrote the song, I recorded it. And then we went back to the chapel that we got married at years after we got married. And my wife, she's responsible for all the video work in that. But you'll see throughout the video that I actually used our wedding day video and then chopped it in throughout certain spots of the song. So that's what that one is.
So cool.
I hope I have the right video, brother.
Yeah, me too. But hey,
yeah, me too. There's a couple out there. Be careful.
I want to say real quick that something's happening to my phone here. It's going haywire when you play my videos. So if I'm not back on immediately after the video ends, I figured out how to get back on. So I will be.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And at least it'll be the right song. Hope it's the right video. This is Mike Donnell. Can't keep my eyes off of you.
Been around the world, on the air, the land and sea. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Well, I've seen places most people only dream, the kind of sights that take your breath away. Well, that's what I thought until today. And I can't keep my eyes off you. The way you look tonight, it's really no surprise how you light up the room so bright. The Lord broke the mold on the day you were born. There really ain't nothing more beautiful. And the funny thing is you don't even have a clue that I can't keep my eyes off you. Well, standing here tonight, it's all worthwhile. When those doors open, me and you both smiled. What they don't know is I'm the luckiest man alive. I get to take an angel for a wife. Just watching you walking down that aisle. And now I can't keep my eyes off you. The way you look tonight, it's really no surprise how you light up the room so bright. And the Lord broke the mold on the day you were born. There really ain't nothing more beautiful. And the funny thing is you don't even have a clue. And I can't keep my eyes off you. It wasn't hard for you to steal my heart, as gorgeous as you are. And girl, you gotta know it's true. And I can't keep my eyes off you. The way you look tonight, it's really no surprise how you light up the room so bright. And the Lord broke the mold on the day you were born. There really ain't nothing more beautiful. And the funny thing is you don't even have a clue. And I can't keep my eyes off you. And You got it!
Truck it off.